Okay, so you've probably seen the headlines, right? This new Netflix documentary is dropping bombs about Diddy and his alleged involvement in Tupac's murder. I know. This story's been around for decades, but this time it feels different. It's like all the whispers and rumors are finally coalescing into something substantial. And it's not just some random internet conspiracy theory anymore. We're talking about serious allegations from people who were actually in the room or damn close to it. Look, I've always been skeptical of these kinds of stories. It's easy to point fingers after the fact, especially when you're dealing with the cutthroat world of hip-hop in the 90s. But the sheer volume of accusations against Diddy, the consistency of the narrative over the years, it's hard to ignore. And this documentary frames the reckoning. It really lays it all out there. What's crazy is how many people close to Tupac and Biggie are now openly questioning Diddy's role in everything. Tupac's cousin, William Lawsane, straight up says Diddy was threatened by Tupac. Threatened? Can you imagine? Diddy, this mogul, feeling intimidated by a young rapper from the West Coast. But Lawsane paints this picture of Diddy as someone obsessed with Tupac's image, his style, even the women he was with. He's saying Diddy basically tried to become Tupac, which is just weird. And then there's Tupac's brother, Mopreem. He's demanding that the Las Vegas PD actually investigate Diddy. He points out that even Keefe D, who's currently on trial for Tupac's murder, names Diddy in his confessions. So, why aren't the cops going after Diddy? Mopreem's basically saying the whole thing smells fishy, that there are accomplices out there who haven't been touched. He even hints that Tupac was trying to tell him something on his deathbed, something that could have exposed everything. That's chilling, right? But it's not just family members talking. Kirk Burroughs, the former president of Bad Boy, Diddy's own label, is now saying he believes Diddy was behind Tupac's murder. He claims Diddy had him hiring people and getting cars to go to Vegas around the time of the shooting. Burroughs says he didn't understand it at the time, but now, looking back, he's convinced Diddy was setting something up. That's a pretty damning accusation coming from someone who was that close to him. And it all goes back to the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, right? This documentary highlights the tension between Tupac and Diddy, how they were caught in the middle of this escalating feud. Some people interviewed even claim Diddy was tied to violent situations aimed at Tupac before the Vegas shooting. It's a tangled web of jealousy, ambition, and violence. The thing that really gets me is this whole Quad Studios shooting in 1994. Tupac was ambushed, robbed, and shot 5 times. Diddy, Biggie, and a music executive were in the building. Tupac always claimed they set him up, and Gene Deal is saying Diddy knew Tupac was going to get dealt with that night. He might not have known the exact details, but he knew something was going down. Then there's Dexter Isaac, who admitted he was one of the shooters. He claimed he was acting on orders from Jimmy Henchman, who was also at the studio with Diddy and Biggie. It's all connected, right? It's like a puzzle, and all the pieces are pointing in the same direction. I'm not saying Diddy is guilty. I'm not a judge or a jury. But the evidence, the testimonies, the sheer weight of the accusations, it's hard to ignore. And this documentary is bringing it all to the forefront, forcing people to ask uncomfortable questions. Give me the next part. But hold up, it gets even messy, eh? They're bringing up Kef D again, the dude on trial for Tupac's murder. Apparently, this guy was talking to the cops back in 2008, saying Diddy was scared of Suge Knight, like terrified. And get this, Kef D claims Diddy offered him $1 million to take out both Suge and Tupac. $1 million to whack 2 of the biggest names in hip-hop. Now, I know what you're thinking. This Kef guy is a known gang member. He's trying to save his own skin. But the fact that this story keeps resurfacing, and that it aligns with so many other accusations, makes it hard to dismiss completely. And the documentary even brings up how Kef D was at the Peterson Automotive Museum the night Biggie was killed. I mean, come on. And it's not just about Tupac, either. People are starting to question Diddy's relationship with Biggie. Was it really the bromance he always portrayed? Kirk Burroughs is saying Diddy was jealous of the bond between Tupac and Biggie, that Diddy wanted to be friends with Tupac, but Tupac wasn't interested. And that every girl Tupac had Puff wanted. It's like a high school drama, but with millions of dollars and deadly consequences. Look, the picture that's being painted here is not pretty. It's a picture of a man driven by jealousy, ambition, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to stay on top. A man who may have orchestrated the deaths of two of the greatest rappers of all time. And the thing is, it's not just about who pulled the trigger, right? It's about who gave the order, who created the environment where this kind of violence was even possible. And that's where Diddy comes in. Even if he didn't directly order the hits, did he create the conditions that led to them? Did he fuel the East Coast, West Coast beef? Did he put a target on Tupac's back? I've got to say, this documentary is raising some serious questions, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the authorities to, finally, do a real investigation. I mean, how many more accusations do they need? How many more witnesses have to come forward before they take this seriously? And you know what else is messed up? This whole thing about Tupac knowing something about Diddy being with another man. Apparently, Tupac had dirt on Diddy, something that could have ruined his reputation. And some people are saying that Diddy hated Tupac for having that over him, which, if true, adds another layer of motive to the whole thing. It's like this isn't just about hip-hop beef anymore. It's about power, secrets, and a desperate attempt to control the narrative. And the fact that all of this is coming out now, decades later, is a testament to the enduring power of Tupac's legacy. Even in death, he's still exposing the truth. So, yeah, I think Diddy should be investigated. Absolutely. I don't know if he's guilty, but there's enough smoke here to warrant a serious fire. And the families of Tupac and Biggie deserve to know the truth. They deserve justice. And we, as fans of hip-hop, deserve to know what really happened. This isn't just about entertainment. It's about accountability. It's about holding powerful people responsible for their actions. And it's about finally putting an end to this decades-long mystery. So, I mean, look at Jimmy Henchman, right? He's sitting there saying he and Tupac were friends and that he'd never do anything to hurt him. But then you've got Dexter Isaacs saying he was hired by henchmen to rob Tupac. And that ain't just some random robbery, man. That's a setup that leads to Tupac getting shot 5 times. And the whole bracelet thing. Dexter Isaac claims he took Tupac's bracelet and put his own man's name on it. That's some cold-blooded disrespect right there. That's not just about money. That's about sending a message. But Henchman's just denying everything. He's acting like he's the victim here, like he's being unfairly accused. And he's even got the nerve to say Tupac looked up to him. I mean, come on.
Here's the thing, though.
Even if Diddy didn't pull the trigger himself, even if he didn't directly order the hit, he created the environment where this kind of thing could happen. He fostered the rivalry. He surrounded himself with guys who were willing to do anything to protect his interests, and that makes him complicit in my book. And let's not forget about Stretch, Tupac's friend, who was allegedly in cahoots with Jimmy Henchman. He was feeding them information about Tupac's whereabouts, setting him up for the ambush. That's some next-level betrayal, man. Selling out your friend for a quarter brick? That's just wow. It's just crazy how many people are connected to this whole thing. It's like a spiderweb, and Diddy's right in the center of it. And the fact that the cops never really investigated him properly, that's a joke. They were too busy chasing down other leads, focusing on the wrong suspects. They let Diddy get away with it for years. But now, with this documentary, with all these people coming forward, it's like the walls are closing in on him. He can't deny it anymore. He can't hide behind his money and his power. The truth is out there, and people are finally starting to see it. And let's be real, this isn't just about Tupac and Biggie. It's about a whole generation of hip-hop artists who were caught up in this violent feud. It's about the greed, the ego, the power struggles that fueled the whole thing. And it's about the legacy of violence that continues to haunt the hip-hop community to this day. I mean, think about it. These guys were making millions of dollars, living the high life, but they were also surrounded by danger, by enemies, by people who wanted to take them down. It was a constant battle for survival, and some of them didn't make it. And Diddy, he was right there in the middle of it all. He was pulling the strings, making the deals, building his empire, and he was willing to do whatever it took to stay on top, even if that meant sacrificing others. So yeah, I'm glad this documentary is out there. I'm glad people are